Welcome. In this video, we are going to explore how to feel safe in your body. And I'm going to go into that in just a few seconds here. I'm Lorrie Rivers. I am the founder of the Relief and Transformation course for Long COVID and ME/CFS. I teach people how to fully recover from these chronic illnesses. And I myself have recovered from both of those, and additionally, lifelong fibromyalgia, which is no longer lifelong. So let's talk about safety and your body and feeling safe in your body. I know how difficult it is to feel safe in your body and to even be in your body, if that makes sense, right? When we feel so badly physically or emotionally or a combination of both, which is typically what's happening with these types of illnesses, we want to be outside of ourselves, right? We want to be outside of our bodies. And then not only that, but you may have actually during your childhood developed that same kind of wanting to be outside of your body or being outside of your body because of trauma or maybe even just small things that you experienced when you were younger. And it's a very common coping mechanism, right? To kind of detach ourselves from our feelings, which means that we're also detached from our bodies. So and when you have these types of illnesses where it feels like your body has turned on you, or really any bodily thing that feels like it's going wrong, that doesn't feel good. Same thing with emotional states, mental states. When you're experiencing that, it doesn't feel safe to be in your body. And so we get to have different approaches to allow you to feel more safe in your body. So at first, some of these might not feel safe to you. So you don't have to try to be in these places 100% of the time. We're going to go through 3 today. There are lots of different approaches, and I'll go through some more of these on Instagram and on TikTok, just some little bite-sized things that you can do. But this video here that you're with me in right now is important because we can go into more depth about these 3 things that I'm going to be telling you about. So the first one is simply to establish a connection between you and your amazing body. Even if it feels like it has turned on you, even if it feels like it's not a safe place to be, establishing that connection is so important and so helpful in order to be able to move forward in a lot of different ways and in order to actually feel safe. So what I used to do, I just decided to do this kind of on my own. I'd never run across it before. And when I was so sick that first time around, is I would sit down every morning and just communicate with my body for 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe even less some days, maybe just 2 minutes. So you can start with even just a minute. That's fine. And when I say communicate with your body, and it might seem kind of cheesy or weird or whatever, but you actually sit and you say things like, "Good morning, body." And you don't really want to ask it right away how it's doing, because that is probably going to stir things up right away, right? So you might say something like, "I'm here with you." And maybe even put your hands over your heart or over your diaphragm or your belly, like right underneath your belly button. "I'm here with you. Is there anything that you need from me right now, or anything that would ease you right now?" And if you get an answer, great. It doesn't mean it's the answer. It doesn't mean you know you need to do it right this second or anything like that. It's just information. And if you don't get an answer, that's okay too. And then you sit, you know, I'm here with you. And maybe you ask it, what would you like today? And you just, you know, see if any other questions come to mind or any other statements. And you can even say, I'm not trying to change anything about you, body, right now. I'm just establishing this communication with you. I just want to let you know that I'm listening, that I'm here with you. So it's very simple. And you can play around with those questions. And actually, I'd love to hear what some questions that came up to you would be. You can put those down in the comments. Now, the second thing that you can do, and this is a very physical thing, is you can wrap your arms around yourself and close your eyes and gently rock from side to side. And then maybe even bowing your head a little bit. And see if you can get in touch with the feeling of rocking a baby, as if your body is the baby in this beautiful baby that you can't help but love. And see if you can have any of that feeling towards your body. If not, that's okay too. And just the side to side rocking motion. And do that for however long that feels good to you. And then a third thing that you can do, and I definitely recommend doing the first one. Yeah, especially if you feel like you have not been in your body lately. So the third one is to check in with your body throughout the day. Now, it feels like we might even be kind of OCD about checking in with our body throughout the day because of all these weird symptoms that you might be experiencing, right? But this is a different kind of check-in. This is more similar to that first one that we were talking about, as far as sitting there with your body and just asking, just checking inside, getting still and asking inside, saying, hey, I'm here with you. I'm listening. Is there anything you need right now? What do you want? What would you like right now or later? And see if anything comes back to you. Now, the thing is, if you're not getting any answers, that's okay too. It's just we're letting the body know that you are being present with it. We're letting the body know that you're listening to it. We're letting the body know that you're not rejecting it. And it might sound kind of weird to be treating the body, to be talking to the body as if it is its own separate sentient being. But what we find is that doing that is very effective by talking to it as if it is its own sentient being. And what we also find is that the cells actually respond positively to that. And they oftentimes will come out of the stress response, out of the cell danger response, when you start to focus on the body as a whole, as opposed to the symptoms and freaking out about the symptoms. Now, I'm not saying that you need to try to stop doing that altogether at once. As far as freaking out about the symptoms, that's something that, you know, happens over time. If you can, that's great. But putting this focus slightly different in a slightly different way onto connecting with your body and asking it what it needs, what it wants, what it would like, and establishing that connection is more important even than stopping any of those other thoughts. So I hope that that is helpful. We're actually gearing up for the 2023 Long COVID and ME/CFS Holistic Healing Summit. So that's going to be in July. Keep an eye out for that. And let me know in the comments which of these you're going to try. And then maybe even come back and let us know how it works out for you. All right. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.